Have you ever heard of a YouTube channel so terrifying that the platform itself had to erase it from existence? This isn't just a story. It's one of the internet's oldest and most disturbing mysteries. Let's travel back to 2008, a time when YouTube was still finding its footing. A video surfaced with a simple, chilling title: Username666. It showed someone doing something seemingly harmless, trying to visit a YouTube channel with that very username. What happened next, however, was anything but harmless. The moment the user in the video clicked on the profile, the screen fractured into digital chaos. It was like the web page was having a seizure. The familiar red and white of YouTube inverted into a sickly, corrupted palette of greens and blacks. The layout twisted and contorted, the very code of the site seeming to scream in protest. It was a glitch, but it felt intentional. It felt alive. And then, the faces started to appear. They weren't clear at first, just ghostly shapes emerging from the digital static. But soon they sharpened, becoming distorted, screaming faces that looked like they were trying to claw their way out from behind the screen. The audio devolved into a nightmare soundscape. Speech played in reverse, mixed with the grinding of gears, and underneath it all, a faint but unmistakable sound of distant, agonizing screams. It was pure, unfiltered, digital horror. The person recording the video panicked. They tried to close the browser window, but it wouldn't respond. The X button was useless. They tried to force quit, to shut down the entire computer, but the machine had been hijacked. It refused every command. The screen continued its descent into madness. Flashes of what looked like satanic symbols flickered between frames, too quick to fully register, but leaving a sense of deep unease. The screaming faces became more defined, their expressions shifting from agony to pure, targeted rage. They seemed aware. And then, a message materialized across the corrupted screen, written in a font that looked like it was bleeding pixels. "I know where you live." The video cuts out, just blackness. Silence, leaving anyone who watched it with a cold, creeping dread. The video spread like wildfire across the early internet. Naturally, people were terrified, but also morbidly curious. They had to see for themselves. Viewers who dared to try and recreate the experiment reported a range of terrifying results. Some said their computers crashed instantly, refusing to reboot for hours. Others claimed that after their failed attempt, they started receiving bizarre, cryptic messages from unknown accounts. But the most chilling reports were from those who swore they saw their own webcam light flick on during the process, a tiny green eye opening to watch them, even though they hadn't touched the camera settings. It was as if something was looking back. Eventually, YouTube stepped in. The original channel, if it was ever a real, functioning channel, was deleted. Today, if you try to visit the URL for a username 666, you'll just hit a generic error page. This channel does not exist. A dead end. But the legend didn't die with the channel. The original video, and the countless videos of people attempting to access it, remain scattered across the web. They are digital ghosts, re-uploaded and mirrored, each copy slightly different, each one just as disturbing as the last. So, what was it? What was username 666? The most common theory is that it was an elaborate hoax, a clever piece of video editing and creative storytelling designed to prey on our deepest fears. In the early days of the internet, these kinds of creepypastas were incredibly popular. Someone with skill in After Effects could have easily simulated the glitches, the distorted faces, and the terrifying audio to create a convincing piece of viral horror. It was the perfect digital ghost story for a new generation. Another plausible theory points to something more malicious: malware. The idea is that the whole legend was a cover for a sophisticated virus. By luring curious users into searching for this haunted channel, hackers could trick them into clicking on infected links or downloading corrupted files disguised as the real video. The computer crashes, the strange messages, the webcam activation keys are all things that a powerful piece of malware could absolutely do. It's a terrifying thought, a ghost story used as bait to infect your digital life. But there's a third theory, one that you won't find in tech articles, but in the dark corners of old internet forums and late-night chat rooms. This theory whispers that username 666 wasn't a hoax or a virus. It was a portal, a digital doorway to something that should have remained sealed shut. Proponents of this idea believe that through some unknown means, a connection was made a tear in the fabric of our reality, accessed through the seemingly mundane interface of YouTube. They believe that when you visited that channel, you weren't just loading a web page. You were knocking on a door, and something on the other side was listening. According to this theory, the glitches, the faces, the screams, that was the other side bleeding through. It wasn't just code, it was a consciousness, an entity, using the channel as a foothold into our world. The warnings attached to the legends suddenly become much more serious. They aren't just part of the story. They're genuine, please. Don't search for it. Don't try to visit the channel. Don't attempt to recreate what you saw in the videos. Because, as the legend goes, the portal might be closed, but it's not gone. And some say that even now, years later, if you're unlucky enough or foolish enough to somehow find a working link to recreate the exact conditions and reach that forbidden profile, something will reach back, your screen will glitch, the faces will appear, and this time the message won't just be a vague threat. It will have your address. It will know exactly where you are, and your webcam light will turn on. What makes this legend so enduring is its evil. The original video has been deleted and re-uploaded hundreds, maybe thousands of times, but eagle-eyed viewers have noticed something strange. The copies are never exactly the same. A face might appear in a different spot. The audio might have a new, unsettling sound mixed in. The text might flicker with a different word for a split second. It's led to a terrifying new chapter in the myth that with every new person who watches and shares it, the entity behind username 666 grows stronger, more defined, and more capable. It learns from our fear. It adapts. It spreads not like a virus, but like a story, embedding itself into our collective consciousness. So whatever you do, maybe think twice before you get too curious. Maybe don't go digging for those old videos in the dead of night. And definitely, whatever you do, don't type 666 into YouTube's search bar at 3 a.m. You might not like who or what searches back. Thanks for joining me down this dark internet rabbit hole. If you enjoyed this dive into one of the web's most infamous mysteries, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. And let me know in the comments, what do you think username 666 really was? A hoax, malware, or something else entirely? Stay safe out there, and see you in the next video.